Hi everyone, so welcome to the Languages Workshop where I am going to show you how to effectively use flashcards in learning vocabulary and speaking test questions. Okay, so first of all, before we even get started, what do you need? You are going to need some coloured card, white paper or some pre-cut revision cards that you can get from any supermarket at the minute. You are also going to need, I personally love a bit of colour in my life, some coloured pens. Okay, so my first job is, let's talk about vocabulary. As we know, in order to be super successful at GCSE French or German, we need to make sure we know vocabulary. Do we know what it's spelt like in French? Do we understand the meaning in English? If it's dependent on masculine and feminine, do we know both of those spellings? So, as in Blue Peter, here's one I made earlier. So what we have is I've written a personality adjective, travailleur. The top one is the masculine form. I've done a little, you could do a little M after it to symbolise masculine, or draw a very dodgily looking little man there. Underneath, I need to know what the feminine version is spelt like, travailleuse. Again, I've written F or I've put a girl, and I personally like them in two different colours to highlight it. What's super important is on the reverse of the flashcard, you have the English. Now, as we know, it is not enough just to write these flashcards. It's really important that you are using them as a revision tool. So in languages, little and often is the way to go. Between 15 minutes every night, just going through them. Whether you are first going, right, travailleur, travailleuse, can I remember what it means in English? Hold on, check. I think it's hardworking. Yeah, perfect, I was right. As you become more confident with the meaning in English, you then desperately need to make sure you check your spelling in French. Right, hardworking, right, okay, travailleur, right, I want the masculine form. How do I spell it? I think it's T-R-A. Keep going. Am I right? Absolutely spot on. Okay. That's obviously for personality adjectives in French, which is dependent on whether the person is obviously a man or a woman. So now we're looking at generic nouns. So as always, we know in French and German, each noun has a gender. So again, it's super important. What I have done is I've written maison in the middle, and I have used my feminine colour to reinforce it up here. I have then not just written the word for the, I've also written the word for a, and the word for my, because as we know, we're never just going to want to use the house. Again, all I've done on the reverse of the card, that absolutely symbolises it in English, so I know absolutely what it means. Again, it's no use just making it. You need to be testing yourself on a regular basis. A parent, a friend, your parents do not need to speak French or German to help you learn from your flashcards. Okay, so the second part of the video is now about speaking test questions. So obviously, as you might know, the exam is worth 25% of it is your speaking test. So again, here's one I've made earlier. What we have to do, the first step I always do, is on one side of my flashcard, I take my speaking test question. I've done a German once, and I've written the question out. Was für eine Person bist du? And then I've written what it means in English underneath. When you are learning speaking test questions, you need to learn what the question means so that when your teacher asks you it, you are absolutely confident in what you are answering. On the reverse, I then have my answer in German, so ich bin manchmal launisch, aber meistens gut gelaunt. Again, I've written the English underneath. It's really helpful when you are learning a foreign language to make sure you are super confident with what you are saying, speaking in English. Again, it's a really good way. Please don't just write them, please read through them, test yourselves, right? Here you go, friend, take this, okay? Right, they say the question to you, was für eine Person bist du? Do I know what that means? Oh, what type of person are you? Great, brilliant. Right, I've got the question. Let's start learning that answer. I hope this has been super useful. I think they're absolutely brilliant for languages, but please remember, year 10 and 11, it's not good enough just to write them. You have to use them to test yourself. Okay, any questions at all regarding flashcards or how else to learn vocabulary in your speaking test questions, please see your teacher. Thank you. Bye.